Hey, and welcome to Chapter 2, Section 3. This is all about subtracting integers. Yesterday we talked about how to add integers, but what about subtraction? Well, here I've got a few, and I want to show you what it looks like on a number line first, because that's the easiest visual to have so you can grasp things. Here we're going to start at 4, and we're going to go in the negative direction, 7. So we're going to start here at 4, and we're going to go backwards, negative 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That puts us right here at negative 3. So this was just like 4 plus negative 7 yesterday. That's why I was telling you that this and this are the same thing. Plus and negative 7 and minus 7, same thing. Please understand that. So, but once again, if the signs are different, and this is a positive 4 and this is a negative 7, the signs are different, so you subtract them. The answer is 3, and the 7's bigger, so the negative wins. Your answer is negative 3. Let's do another one. I'm going to start at negative 3, and I'm going to go negative 2. 1, 2, and I'm going to end up with negative 5. Just like here, the signs are the same, so I add them together, and the biggest one wins. It doesn't get weird with subtracting until you get to subtracting a negative, because subtracting a negative makes you go in a positive direction. So when you subtract a negative, which means you've got these two signs right next to each other, the best thing, the easiest thing for you to do is go dink dink. Dink dink, that's a technical term. But now it's negative 5 plus 4. So you don't have to mess with, okay, I'm starting here and I'm going that way and that way, and yeah, you don't have to mess with that. Ding ding. It's negative 5 plus 4. You start at negative 5, you go in a positive 4 direction. So subtract a negative. It's like I'm taking away the cold from a thermometer. Does that make sense? Not really. Okay. But that makes this a positive 4. So now, when you're looking at this, the signs are different. You subtract, and the big one wins. Negative 1. Where did we end up with? Yep, we ended up right there with negative 1. 8 minus negative 2, dink dink. Best thing to do. So now I have 8 plus 2. 8 plus 2 gives me 10. Okay? Your turn. Hopefully you can do it just by adding and subtracting up here. Hopefully you don't need a number line. But if you do, that's okay. Remember, when you have two negatives right next to each other, the first thing you do is go dink dink. So copy these down carefully, push pause, try them out, come back when you're done. Okay? All right. I've got dink dink, 9 plus 4 is 13. These signs are the same, so I'm going to add, biggest one wins. Dink dink, signs are the same, I'm going to add, that's 20. Dink dink, signs are different, I'm subtracting, and the 5 is bigger. So, how'd you do? It's easy to get confused, but if you stick to your rules, you should be okay. Word problems, I know you love them. So, this is what it looks like. Find the difference between 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit and negative 250 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the temperatures the space shuttle must endure. So what they're asking is, what is the span from negative 250 to positive 3,000? The difference, what kind of a problem is this? Difference means subtract. You're going to find the difference between two numbers, subtracting between two numbers, and they tell you what it is. So you have 3,000 minus negative 250. And what do? We go dink dink. And so this is an addition problem. And it's a really easy addition problem. Degrees Fahrenheit. This is the span from the bottommost to the topmost, the span of degrees that the space shuttle has to endure. So I wanted to know from this part of the number line all the way to this part of the number line. How many numbers does that make? Okay? You get to try it now. In 1918 in North Dakota, the temperature dropped from 50 degrees Fahrenheit to negative 33 degrees Fahrenheit in about 12 hours. How many degrees of a drop was it? So push pause. You don't have to write it down, but you do have to work it out. Write an equation. It should happen just a lot like this. And then come back when you're done. Okay, so again, I'm going to find the difference from 55 to negative 33. Dink, dink. That's an 88 degree difference in one day. That's huge. That's huge. Okay, remember when we started this yesterday? We're finishing it. We're going to do this half. What happens when it's A minus B? So here we have our A equals 4. So we're going to have 4 minus B, which is negative 7. The easiest mistake is to say this is 4 minus 7. And ignore the fact that I've got one here and one here. You got to put both of them there if they both show up. 4 minus negative 7 is 11. Here I have negative 2 minus 6, and that equals negative 8. Your turn. Give this one a shot. Push pause, come back, we'll do it together. All right, here I've got negative 9 minus negative 4, dink, dink, and I end up with negative 5. Did you get it? Okay. Practice. This is your turn. I've got 6 subtraction problems and a word problem. I owed $42. That means this, owing it means that this is a negative 42. So realize that as you're putting this together. So, good luck. Stars, hazard signs, questions. See you tomorrow.